Like this guy was saying we knocked off his headphones and we were being annoying and not human the whole set. And he said he was gonna money match us on Saturday. I was so fucking red. Oh my god, I was gonna drop like 500 to play
I'm
this
sure
guy.
he didn't show up at all, right?
No, he just gave us cut eye every like 5 seconds.
Jeez.
And I was like, this guy's a pussy. His fucking name was Pooh. So Pooh, if you're watching this, you're a fucking pussy. So.
All right, everyone. So this is going to be the sort of reboot, even though we only had like 2 very short episodes for the Dead Game podcast, which is going to be focused on, of course, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Not too much of a dead game, I would say, if you were able to catch some of the more recent events and whatnot, especially Get On My Level and more recently Combo Breaker, which showed really, really good numbers for the game, showing that it's still very, very much alive. And with us, we have a competitor for both of those events. We have Leo, and if you look on Smash GG, he goes by Nego, where he got 9th for Get On My Level. And at Combo Breaker, very impressively, out of 385 people, getting 13th there. You had a little bit of a tough road there, unfortunately, since you lost early on to, who was it specifically? Shanks, which ended up, he got 3rd, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So losing to him a little early, but then had to make the run going 10-2 in comparison to some people who played almost like half the amount of games as you did or whatnot.
Yeah.
So welcome. Very glad to have you on here. So to start off,
thank you.
Yeah, definitely. For everything, I guess we'll start off with, how was Combo Breaker? What was your experience like? There's a lot of people that, and it's funny because it kind of skipped over my mind about how many people actually will never get to go to any sort of big events or get to go to any locals or anything like that. So I was just wanting to get your experience, kind of what you went through for all of the atmosphere, for everything that you got to see and whatnot. Just go into that so that people can kind of get an idea, of course, a small idea of what it's actually like to be at an event like this.
Yeah. I'll start at like local scene. So prior to Combo Breaker, like we have our top Canadian players are like Art Waltz, Luke, Timo, Kami99, and all those people. So earlier in the month, it was the weekend May 2nd to May 5th. I actually had everyone over. We had 13 people over for the whole weekend at my place for like a practice section for Gommel, or not Gommel, for a Combo Breaker. So that was able to make us significantly get better for Combo Breaker. So that was kind of our prep period for Combo Breaker for the Canadians. As far as going to Combo Breaker, we're all super excited. And Gommel was the week right before. I'll get into Gommel in a minute. So like we were all super excited for Combo Breaker. All of our goals was to break top 48. We wanted all the Canadian players to break top 48, and that was our goal. My advice to like going to majors, make sure you at least have like one person to go with. The thing with Smash, like I went to maybe like 1 or 2 tournaments a year for Smash because I didn't have many friends that played Smash. So the thing with Smash, like I'd go alone, I'd play in the tournament, I'd play friendlies, and I would have absolutely nothing to do because I didn't go with anyone. I didn't really have any Smash friends. So it was like, I go there, I go like what, 4-2, 3-2, and I'm like, shoot, what do I do for the rest of the day? Why am I here? I want to go home. So like going to a tournament with people, or at least just meeting people at the tournament, you're gonna meet hella people at tournaments and stuff like that. So like it's always good to have that community when you go to a tournament because you don't want to be alone. Nobody wants to be alone at such a social event. So it's always good to have friends that go to tournaments with you. We had an entire country, all of Canada moved together at Combo Breaker. It was actually hilarious. Like I'll get into some stories about the Wolf Pack of Canada. Yeah, prepping for Combo Breaker was great. The experience, Combo Breaker itself, it was great. Like it was great. Half of Canada took a plane. The other half of Canada took a bus. I was part of the people that took a bus. That was a 15-hour bus. I personally don't mind. I like long bus rides. So
we get to sleep on the bus at least, right? And stuff like that. So
yeah, so I just knocked out and my neck was bust up for for a couple hours. But the other half of Canada flew. But unfortunately for the people that flew, they got hella delays. I don't know if you were keeping up with Reddit or social media of all the top players flying back on Monday. But people were delayed forever. People were Luke, one of our players. Luke was delayed from I think like 12 p.m. all the way to 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So he was there forever. Demon, one of our other guys, was delayed. Like, I think Sejam was delayed.
He was like one of the only people that I noticed or heard his story for that. So I didn't know that it was actually a big thing. I thought it was just so happened to be for his flight or something.
So many people got delayed, dude. Yeah, going back to Combo Breaker, we arrived there on Thursday. We actually, me and Roshan, who's my manager, who's the head of Incendium, we all went to an arcade, like about an hour off from the venue the night before, because we just wanted to hang out with Roshan, because Roshan was going to be working there the whole weekend. Roshan's role at Combo Breaker was he's going to be the person that decides, like, am I going to DQ this person or not? Like, he's the head bracket runner, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Thursday was a pretty chill night. We got back, we slept because we had pools the next day. We had, a lot of us had the Friday pools. I had a Friday 5 p.m. pool, and a lot of people had like 1 p.m. I think that was the earliest pool, 1 p.m. But yeah, Combo Breaker was great. We all did our pools. We all, on Friday, I think all of us made it out. I made it out on losers. Luke made it out. Actually, all the Canadians made it out on losers. So yeah, that sucked, but hey, we made it out. So yeah, that was good.
So at least making it out of your pool, then, did you all accomplish your goal for top 48 with just making it out of your pool? Or did you guys still need to win 1 or 2 more games?
No, straight out of pools is top 48.
Oh, okay, so then you guys did do what you wanted to do then. So,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
There were about, I think, 3 Canadians that weren't able to make it out of pools, unfortunately. They just drowned in pools. Like, it sucks to suck. No disrespect, but like, yeah. Like, not everyone can make it out of pools. There's going to be tougher pools than others. Like, Demon is a player that's pretty much as good as me. And his pool had, I think, like, Jake Ryan, who beat him, Soap. Who else was in that pool? Darn, there were a couple other people that were pretty good in that pool as well. I just don't recall. But yeah, one of our other players, I don't know if you know Des, but Des won Michigan Masters a couple months ago.
Okay.
Over Zongmu.
At least for Des, I believe whenever I see Des, it doesn't Des have like an exclamation point or something for the name? Okay.
Yes, it's Des with an exclamation mark. Yeah. We have a running gag that I'm Des with a question mark.
Oh, is that...
and he's Des with an exclamation mark. We have like Des with a period. All stuff like that. But yeah. And then Saturday was top 48 day. So some of us still had pools on Saturday. So we went and watched the pools. Like, are you aware of Xylophone? The player Xylophone?
So I've heard the name. I don't know anything about Xylophone though.
Yeah, he's pretty much his clout is all from Xuses, unfortunately, because this has posted some videos of Xylophone. So sometimes,
I mean, hopefully good stuff but of course.
I'm just chill. Yeah, they're good stuff. They're like Xylophone highlight videos. So sometimes, like, I'll be streaming playing with Xylophone, and people will be like, "Oh my god, is that Xylophone? Oh, his hit is so good," stuff like that. So yeah. So he had some moments that he picked his team, and then he sat down next to a guy, and the guy was like, "Xylophone?" So
people actually recognizing him. I mean, that's cool with people. So this is where, even though it can be a little bit conflicting depending on how you do it for VODs or taking gameplay and stuff like that, this is a really great example of getting exposure that you didn't try to aim for necessarily, but I mean, it benefits you in that you get your name out there and you get some sort of recognition.
Yeah,
so
there's the positive Xuses videos where he's like putting out the low level players, or not low level players, but like
the online warriors and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like Emperor Wolf or something, or Skeezer. Like, those are just like online players. I don't really see them in tournaments. But there's also the bad Xuses videos where he's like Odie, Gohan, cook God, raw oil, no butter. Or like tricky opponent for Sonic Fox. Like, come on, these are just random online sets. You don't have to throw them online and be like, oh my god, Sonic Fox is struggling against Canadian hit player. But by the way, that was definitely a 3-0 for Kami, so that was great.
Yeah.
As a net play 3-0, but hey.
Those
something.
Normally he'll put some sort of description or something else saying like, hey, I don't actually mean it, like it's just kind of for laughs in the title and whatnot. But I mean, I definitely get what you're getting at as far as for like, come on, don't take it too seriously, which of course people don't ever read the description or look further into it, and they're like, well, it's just online stuff. They're like, no, wow, he's really on the downfall, like this is the end of Sonic Fox, or this is the end of Hook, or anything like that. Everybody's washed up and everything. So
yeah, like I had one of my neighbors nearby, he plays Dragon Ball. He came over the other day, and then I had like Hook stream in the background, and he was like, "Oh, is Hook not playing Goku Blue anymore?" I was like, "When was Hook playing
Ever
Goku
played?
Blue?" And he's like, "Oh, I saw a video on YouTube," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
You mean the
So
one video? Yeah.
the audience Zeus's applies to is it works. Like Zeus's applies to like a very casual audience that like watching like, "Oh my god, this Beerus player is so good! Wow!" So he knows what he's doing. He
Yeah.
knows how to market his stuff, and yeah.
Now that stuff is definitely really interesting as far as for the. I think this is where a lot of stuff kind of gets mixed up as far as for how big the community is as far as at an upper level compared to most people, which most people are always at that middle casual type of level, don't
Yeah.
have intentions to go further or anything like that. So as far as for, I guess we can get into something else in just a second as far as for tier list and how those apply to most people in comparison to upper level. But before we totally get onto that just yet, though, as far as for Combo Breaker and the differences for the environment and stuff, did you actually notice any differences as far as for Friday with like how the venue was and how the atmosphere for how hype people were versus on Saturday and whatnot? Like, could you actually tell that much of a change or?
Friday and Saturday were pretty much the same because pools ran on both the Friday and the Saturday. The major difference was actually the Sunday.
Sunday for sure, yeah, with all the top 8s and whatnot. So,
like Saturday, I stayed at the venue till 5 a.m. 5 a.m. on Sunday technically, because there were just setups everywhere and this and that. You could just degen the whole venue.
It was 24 hours,
Sunday,
right?
Yeah, Sunday they took all the venues down or all the setups down at like 1 or 2 p.m. so they could set up for top 8, and I was like, you don't need all that space, but they needed all that space. Holy, there were people still standing, and there were chairs going all the way throughout the whole venue. It was crazy. People love Tekken, dude. Holy shit, people love Tekken.
Tekken, I think, had one of the better number of people that joined it. Is that right?
I think so. It had a really hyped top 8 because it was going at the same time as Dragon Ball was going on.
Oh, that's
and I caught
right.
myself often like.
Gotcha. Trying to look over,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, because I hear a bunch of screaming. I'm like, oh shit. And like Tekken has this thing where it like goes in slow motion for like a laughing scenario.
Yep.
And that shit's tight.
So let's see. So Tekken had 627. MK had 800 plus, which of course it being still really, really new, I don't think is that surprising. But it looks like Tekken actually had more than Street Fighter. Mind you, it was only by 16 people, but I mean, that's still really impressive, especially for how it seems that it's gotten a surge, I guess, of people, especially recently.
I didn't think Tekken was as big as it was until I started playing Dragon Ball. Because as a Smash player, I never paid any mind to Tekken. I was like, Tekken, that's it's a poor man's game, this and that. And then I just see Tekken when I become a Dragon Ball player, and I'm like, holy shit, Tekken gets views, Tekken gets attendance, Tekken gets money.
Definitely, it seems that they've been doing really well as far as for their tours as well. Since I've started, Tekken was one of those games that I never played, and I just caught it randomly when I first started watching stuff for the FGC. I started seeing the little stuff for like Marvel. I guess it was MVC3, and I was like, hey, fighting games kind of look kind of cool. And then I saw some Tekken, and I was like, oh, Tekken actually seems really fun. And so I've always like kind of kept up with it, but I didn't know, at least from what I've heard, that the scene apparently is getting a surge right now or starting to kind of grow more.
It seems like it, yeah.
As far as for entrance and whatnot, I think from what I was hearing, I think it was Majin Obama or somebody else was saying that from last year it actually gained entrance, and that's almost like unheard of as far as for 1 year into the next, because obviously Dragon Ball dropped entrance in pretty much every single thing. So I mean, that's really good if you're able to just keep the community healthy and then just bring in new people as far as for the hype and whatnot. So
it's cool. Like there was Electric Clash this weekend that just passed with like JDCR. And
oh, that's what I was hearing about. I kept hearing stuff for JDCR, and I was like, well, is there a tournament going on or something like that?
Yeah, there was Electric Clash in Toronto. That was run by my sponsor, Incendio. Yeah, so they took care of that.
Nice. Well, good. Okay, so let's get back into, I guess, going into kind of like the tier list. We can jump to that real quick since we touched on that real quick. So as far as for tier list, which everybody I'm sure loves tier list. Everybody on Twitter, everybody on Reddit and whatnot, everybody's always wanting to catch who's the top tier and try to put them on their team. So do you think that a tier list for most people actually matters a lot in regards to what they should focus on if they want to actually be, and I'll say good, and I'll say good in regards to them individually, not necessarily wanting to be good in comparison
Yeah,
to pros or semi-pros or go to super
yeah.
majors or anything like that and be good. But do you think that they should actually focus on these more, at least for what I've seen, or in my mind, for the way that I interpret stuff, is that pro players or higher level players think of the game on a different level. So they say, okay, well, this character's whole kit is really good, and if you use them in this certain way, then this character is a top tier in this level,
Mm.
where they'll downplay everybody else, or they'll say, well, this person is this low of a on the tier list or anything like that
Yeah.
because you can't do this with them or whatnot. What are your thoughts on just like that whole idea?
I get this question a lot, like when I'm streaming myself. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
do I need to pick a top tier? Like, first you have to ask yourself, like, how good do you want to be at the game? Like, do you want to be a tournament level player? Do you want to be an online warrior? Like, do you want to beat your friends? Like, if you just want to, for example, I'll give a quick example. Like, say you want to beat your very casual friends. Your very casual friends, you don't have to pick the best characters in the game to beat that. You're not going to beat your casual friends with like Piccolo, Bardock, Super Saiyan Goku. If you want to beat your casual friends, go pick Frieza and do 5H for like 300 seconds. Like that will beat your friends and that will make them think like, oh my god, what, this character is top tier. But that's just because they don't know like how to deal with it. They're not like seasoned players. Like how good do you want to be at the game is my question when people are referring to tier lists. Um, like it tier lists are pretty important, I'd say, in games. It gives a general idea of where everyone thinks every character in the game is
Mm-hmm.
like. But it's always good to look at multiple tier lists, and that's just not one tier list. Like if you look at, okay, I'm gonna look at Goichi's tier list and everything here is fact. Like you can't look at that. Just because he's the best player doesn't mean like all his opinions are correct. Like you want to look at a general pool of tier lists and decide like, okay, so it seems like everybody thinks Bardock is top 3. Everyone thinks Kid Buu is top 3. And that's how you can determine, okay, so this character is definitely good. But if you're looking at like Goichi tier list where he'll have like Piccolo like pretty significantly low, to be honest.
Compared to
And
especially
then
how it seems he plays him. So
yeah, I think Piccolo's amazing. And like see other people's tier lists where they have Piccolo sky high, you're gonna be like, oh, this doesn't make sense. So it's always good to look at multiple tier lists when let's say picking up a game and if you want to know about the top tiers. When it comes to having to play a top tier, my thing is play the game with the characters you love until you realize why you're losing. So I used to play when the game came out. I played Goku Black, Trunks, Cell in that order. That was my very first tournament team, and I was like, how the fuck do I open people up with the Goku Black Point and Trunks? And I was like, okay, I need a character that can actually hit people, that can like mix low and like go high low. Because Goku Black and Trunks, I'm just hitting low, or sorry, I'm just hitting mids and highs. But like Cell, I guess Cell is my only character that can hit low. So like play what you love until you start realizing why you're losing. Like you love Nappa, play Nappa until you're like, wait a minute, this guy's huge. I keep getting fuzzied. Like corner carry is whatever, his damage is whatever. I don't know anything about Nappa. I'm just spouting nonsense. But yeah, like I played Trunks until I know you love Trunks. I know that's your guy.
well,
I've
yeah, but if I could keep playing Vegeta, I definitely would.
Mhm.
Obviously, Hook loves playing him, and he says that he'll never drop him, and then he kind of plays with Goku a little bit. But I need something for lockdown, and I'm definitely realizing that as far as for what I want to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
for my team. So,
yeah.
unfortunately, it's
Yeah,
not a
like once
thing.
you realize the reasons why you're losing, like that's when you want to switch. Like I've gone through cycles and cycles and cycles of teams, of tournament teams. I've probably played every character in the cast in tournament before. And that includes just random selecting to be an asshole or to casual players. Like when I go to my locals, I'll sometimes just random select round one because I'm an asshole. So
No,
it's always fun to do stuff like that.
there's somebody here. His name is Dr. Good Bear. I've seen him do that as well.
Hmm.
He's kind of gotten away from the game a little bit, but he got like top 100 at Evo, and then he placed pretty high
Okay.
for was it Texas Showdown last year, and
Okay.
then oh god, there was some other events. Was it
For
I?
Dragon Ball, are we
Yeah,
talking
for
about?
Dragon Ball, Kumite in
Mhm.
Texas, I think was the other one. He got like
Oh, Kuwait in
top
Tennessee.
5 or something like. Oh, well, Texas
Okay.
because they have a Texas one too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he would do exactly what you did, and I was like, "Why is he doing random?" But I was like, "Oh, he's just wanting to BM
Yeah,
people and
he's
stuff."
just an
So,
asshole.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like that sometimes, though.
Yeah.
Um, so you were mentioning as far as for that, once you start understanding why you're losing, then probably change or
Hmm.
something like that. So
Hmm.
I guess kind of going on for the specific character that you're picking and whatnot, would you say that you probably do have to, if you want to be like a semi-pro level at minimum, but try to push as much as you can as far as for offline tournaments and whatnot and placings, do you think that you do have to sell out to a certain degree or almost entirely to be able to get something more out of the game in comparison to if you love one single character? So for example, if it's Andrew, what is it, Jazz? Oh god,
What
it
axe
is
ice are
it
we talking about,
no,
or
no, no.
jazz raps or
Jazz
something
Rap,
like
yes,
that?
and then at size as well. For someone like Android
Hmm.
17, do you think that you can pick one character that you do actually like and then try to build a team around them and do really well? Or do you think that even at the highest level, or if you're trying to get to that highest level, that's still going to hold you back a good bit?
It'll hold you back a decent amount. Like, look at all the top teams in the game. They're all like really good characters. There are obviously some outliers. For example, when Piccolo was low tier, quote unquote, like Hook was that outlier. There was like when Yamcha wasn't considered amazing yet, Kazunoko was an outlier.
Really early on in the
Um,
game and
yeah,
whatnot,
of
yeah.
course, we're not going to forget about Tachikawa and who's that Vegito player from Japan? Um,
Kymart?
Kymart, yeah, Kymart. Yeah, those are like they play unorthodox teams and they make it
Well,
work because they're just that godlike.
Alioun too for Majin Buu.
Yes, yeah, you're right. You're right. Alien.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
so I think something like that is really interesting that you're saying that it holds you back. I personally would probably disagree a little bit for that, as far as for if
Uh-huh.
you, in the sense that there, you also have to consider the factor of the familiarity of the character, right? Everybody knows how to
Yes,
play against a Bardock. Everybody knows how to play against a Goku.
yes,
Now,
yes.
mind you, it's not, of course, that easy because you still have to deal with the mix-ups and all this other stuff. So while there is
Hmm.
still the familiarity, then you have to go to somebody that you've never played against. Or how comfortable are you with block strings? Do you know what they can
Hmm.
cancel into and
Yeah.
what all of their options are? Do you think that that sort of acts like a balancing mechanism in its own way, as far as for this character might have more faults or might not play standard or dish out as much damage or something like that, but because of the unfamiliarity, they can kind of raise them up a little bit more than what people think they actually are on the tier list?
Yeah, unfamiliarity is definitely a factor in like gameplay and stuff like that. Like I'll use melee as an example. I don't know if you follow any melee, but
Yeah, definitely.
Axe. Axe
Pikachu?
is a Pikachu player.
Yep.
Like no, he gets that far because who the fuck knows how to fight Pikachu? Axe also has a Falco, but like when people pick Falco, it's like, oh, when he Axe picks his Falco, people are like, oh, this makes sense. I know how to fight this
Hmm.
compared to his Pikachu,
Sure. Same
as
thing
well
with
as
like Amsa for Yoshi.
yeah, and says Yoshi. Alucard's Frieza. People are like, this guy's
Yeah.
just pointing at you and shooting discs. I don't know what to do. So like unfamiliarity is definitely a factor. It's at like the highest level of gameplay. Like majority of people will be familiar with what most of the cast does.
Sure.
That would be my statement. Although I was definitely proven wrong on Combo Breaker weekend with Shanks. Nobody
Oh, the
knew how to
18?
deal with
Yeah.
the 18 barrier.
Hmm.
He used it the same way you would use Vegeta Assist, like when you
Oh,
would think
sure,
it's your
sure.
turn.
Yep.
Yeah, like a player in our region, Art Waltz, he calls Vegeta Assist when you think it's your turn, and then you're caught pressing like 5L or something, and you're like, oh shit.
Yep. No, that,
Yeah,
I mean, obviously online's a bit different, but I definitely am on the
yeah.
receiving end of that, where I'm like, well, I thought that you couldn't call assists in when you're in the blocking
Mhm.
motion or anything like that, but apparently they weren't. So then Vegeta comes out, and there you go. It
Yeah.
starts your
If
combo.
if your block string is just like sometimes the split frame off, they
Yep.
could just be mashing assist the whole time, and then boom, their assist comes out while you're trying to do a block string.
Yep.
and gets an assist like Vegeta assist or like 18 assist, that's perfect. Yeah, so
Okay.
unfamiliarity is definitely a factor in tournament gameplay.
Okay. So how far do you think you could actually get in terms of top level, like for I guess bigger tournaments before you're actually held back? Like what do you think is like the most you can kind of push yourself for most people? Obviously, we'll kind of exclude the top pros since they're, I mean, top pros. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah, of
exclude
course.
people like Goichi, Hook, Sonic. I mean, Sonic still plays. Obviously, his commitment is more likely on Mortal Kombat for the time being. But other people like this,
Yeah.
I mean, someone like Tachikawa seems to not play really top tiers as far as for
Yeah,
his standard
yeah,
teams, and I would argue that he's probably still considered one of the top pros for that.
yeah, of course. Tachikawa is sick.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think that that's more of him as a player and that he could be that much better if he did play top tiers, or do you think that that is kind of like a non-factor as far as that goes?
I think I think the unfamiliarity does help Tachikawa. Like, I don't know if you know the Hook story, but when Hook was in Japan, he played against Tachikawa's like Bardock, Kid Buu, something else. And I think Hook like smoked that team, and he's just like, go back to what you do, go back to what you do best. Because tiers are a factor of a game, but something that's really, really, really important is having like attachment to a character.
Right.
For example, like I love Trunks, I love Piccolo. My Trunks is nasty, my Piccolo is nasty because I like focusing on those characters because I love that character. My Bardock sucks because I have zero attachment to Bardock. My Bardock has no heart, no soul. He's just on the team to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I definitely can agree with you on that. I almost completely sold out for my team. I was running Bardock, Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, and Trunks. I tried to keep it together with the Trunks in there, but man, it was fun for like a month, and then I just felt like me dying inside for it because I was like, man, I don't really like Bardock. He's fun as a mechanical character, but I mean, there's other things that I would definitely rather prefer to put on my team and whatnot. And I guess that is another thing as well, is perceived strength of a character, or how much that you actually love a character, because you can say, well, sell out all that you want, and I guess that would sort of be okay if you had zero attachment to the franchise of any kind. But given how big of an IP is, I mean, Dragon Ball, you have to have probably a single character that you like in some way, unless you've never seen the show, which would be amazing considering how big of an IP
it's
is.
really rare to find someone that hasn't watched Dragon Ball. For example, Luke, a player in our region, he's never seen Dragon Ball in his life. But when he was watching the Dragon Ball Fighters trailers, he saw Gohan's fastball and he was like, "That's it. I found him."
Yeah, I mean that's
like,
what
all right,
happened.
that's my character. So like people are attracted to functions as well.
Yep.
Like when I saw Hellzone, Piccolo's Hellzone grenade, I was like, holy shit, I am playing this character.
No, I mean that's there's so many different factors that I feel go into making your team or what you can do with them, because now what we're getting into is for play style or for kits and whatnot.
Yeah,
so
play style.
I mean I obviously it all matters to a certain degree. I think for overall, I would argue that tier list, as far as for where most people rank certain characters compared to everything else that we're talking about, would arguably be one of the last things I would consider, and that you should consider everything else that we're talking about. Primarily, I mean, I would argue that you would want to focus on more how much do you like the character, and if you like them, and because I mean, really, Dragon Ball feels like, even though you have gaps in the tier list for S tier down to, I don't know what people typically put if it's like B or C, but everybody's realistically fairly viable. Nobody's like unplayable to the point where there's no point in picking the character whatsoever, right? So, but yeah, I mean, that's just my thoughts as far as that goes. I don't know if you would agree with that still, or if you would still say for that.
Because there are players in our region that have such stupid teams, like Xylophone, this bucket. Okay, in Toronto, bucket means you're an idiot because buckets are just empty. So in Toronto, we just call people buckets.
I like
Xylophone, this bucket. This guy's like, oh, I like hit because he punches mans, and then he's like, yo, I'm just sick, and then he's like, yo, Team Gohan Cell Saga, and then boom, that's his team.
Hey, I mean,
and he made it work. It's actually such a disgustingly good team. and Art Waltz is like, yo, I love Vegeta, and he plays Vegeta. That was the team he beat Super Noon with at Canada Cup in 2018. He 2-0'd Super Noon with Vegeta Blue, Super Saiyan Vegeta. But now after Combo Breaker, he's like, okay, I need to change.
I think it's finally time, yeah.
Yeah. For a while, he was playing Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta Gotenks. But I'm like, dude, why would you slap Super Saiyan Vegeta on that team? He does nothing. He does nothing for that team. But now he's finally looking at. He's like, I think it's time to play a not Vegeta. It's like, yeah, I think it's time to play a not Vegeta too.
It's been
it's
over a year.
That time.
We need to move on now. But yeah, I mean, now I know that we've been on this one for a little bit, but I think that this one's really interesting. Do you think that there's, I don't want to say fear, but do you think that there's a lot of untapped potential in going into synergies for characters because of the tier list and what people perceive certain characters at? Because how you said, was it Lukewarm is who you said for Hit, Gohan, and
Xylophone.
Oh, Xylophone. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
So for Xylophone, so there's things that I figured out randomly that I didn't see other people do with certain teams and whatnot for like GT Goku, as far as for making certain assists work for Tien because of how it pops you up. I don't know how much you play GT Goku, but usually he's kind of hard to chain with assist midstream, but you can go into like his light flash fist, which is a little ball, and then hit him to the ground and then call Tien, and because he pops him up, you can actually run up, which most other assists you can't do that. You have to connect with like the reverse Kamehameha, or with Trunks if you get like a vanish combo, and then you can actually knock them down with the last hit after your vanish combo into like a Bardock assist, and then go into the light slash, which normally you couldn't get any sort of knockdown.
I didn't even know you could do that.
So you can get stuff like that, which I'm finding out as I go along that you can't look at people most of the time because they don't run a certain character on their team or something like that. So do you think that there's a deeper type of team pool that we could see, or different types of comps that are just untapped and that can actually be top tier, but certain things just hold people back from trying them?
Definitely. There are some like disgusting comps. Like fun fact, Piccolo and 17 actually have some decent amount of synergy. Okay. I was labbing that when 17 came out. That assist it does everything for Piccolo. It gives the extension off of M Chop. It gives you like a mid screen relaunch. What else can it do for you?
So you could go into like the light slicer and then still continue from there mid screen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, stuff like this is stuff that I would never know unless I attempted to try it.
But like obviously it's held back because like people gravitate towards, or like higher level players, I'll say, will gravitate towards like a top tier shell. Like the way I see the game is you want to pick a really good shell and like maybe your favorite character in the middle. Like let's say season 1, Hit wasn't like an amazing character yet. Sonic Fox just played Bardock 16 and then he slapped on Hit. And then Hook's shell was Vegeta Cell and he slapped on his Piccolo.
Oh, okay. This was after Goku Black then.
Yeah, that's after Goku Black. So like I think the meta beforehand was like pick godlike shell and slap your favorite character in the middle. But now I think it's like pick 3 top tiers pretty much.
Sure.
If you want to be like the highest level of play. Obviously I'm proven wrong by Shanks picking his 18 Gohan, which I thought had zero synergy. But Shanks proved me wrong.
Yeah. Oh, I
beat me.
I mean, yeah, sure. But yeah, I guess that it'll be a really conflicting thing that I'm sure most people will likely not be able to come to grasp with, as far as for, well, this character is supposed to be bad, but are they bad only in the like solo without any sort of context, which of course it's a team game, so you can build around them or focus on their assist or whatnot. So I guess we can kind of segue into the next part here, is for certain characters, somebody like Kid Buu more specifically, I think is played probably a lot more for like the Japanese players in comparison to the US players.
Way more.
I don't know what it's like for Canada. Is there a difference between the Canada scene and the US scene as far as for characters, or it's pretty similar?
Prior to the patches, we actually had no Kid Buus. We probably had like 1 or 2, but I think now we have like 3 or 4 like top level Kid Buus. I think Canada and US are a lot different. One time I was streaming, I don't know if you know Splash GC.
Yes.
Yeah, he plays Mortal Kombat now. He came into my stream when I was reviewing some of the Canada VODs, and he's like, "What the fuck are these donkey ass teams?" Because he saw Xylophones hit Yamcha, Team Gohan,
Uh-huh.
and he saw Art Waltz Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "What are you doing? What's wrong with you Canadians?" So I think we're a little different.
But did he hop in the games with you guys or anything like that? Did you
No,
get to see any of that? Oh, okay, of course not.
No, because like Splash was just dropping by to talk shit.
Oh, okay, of
But
course.
I love Splash, so he's a fun guy to talk shit with.
It's all fun. Yeah, of course.
Mm.
What do you think actually contributes to the differences as far as for focus on styles or certain characters? So I think Kid Boo's a really, really good one that you can focus on as far as for Japanese players in comparison to American players and wanting to play him or going with that type of style. Because normally when you would see, and mind you, of course, it got a little bit, I don't want to say uniform exactly, but it got to be pretty common to pick up kind of like the Kazunoko team just because everybody saw him winning so
there was
much.
A ton of Kazunoko teams. Fun fact, Demon, a player in our region, he was playing Adult Gohan, Gotenks, Yamcha, like when I met him back in May 2018.
Oh, so he was
like,
the actual pioneer.
Forever. Yeah, it's Team Demon. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That is not Team Kazunoko. That is Team Demon. He created that shit because he was like, oh, I like Gotenks. This is prior to everyone figuring out, wait, Gotenks is broken.
Yeah. But so, oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Kid Buu, like, for example, I think Kid Buu's better than like Piccolo in my opinion. But like for the life of me, I cannot play Kid Buu. I've tried so hard. My Kid Buu sucks. Like I just don't get it. I don't understand how to work around his normals. I don't understand how to play neutral. Like it takes, like, different players have different kind of understandings of the game.
Right.
Like as soon as I picked up Piccolo, I was like, everything makes sense. When I played Trunks, everything made sense. I tried playing Kid Buu, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea how to play neutral. I don't know what to do about this JM. Like, I just didn't understand it. And I'm sure that goes for a lot of people. Like Art in Canada. Art is like, I don't get this character. There are a bunch of other characters. Luke, for a while, he didn't understand how Kid Buu worked, but eventually he got it. And now he plays original Nakio. Like the Kid Buu, Adult Gohan, Super Saiyan Goku.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
That was, I think, Nakio's like original team. That seems pretty tight now, to be honest. That seems pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, people are definitely going back to Super Saiyan Goku, which is, I think, kind of funny for that.
The World Tour opened our eyes.
Yeah. But, God, do you think that it's more... Do you think that depends on the person individually, or do you think it's more the region and the people that you play? I mean, obviously, there's a little bit of both that your environment shapes you, right? So,
but like I don't understand Kid Buu for the life of me, but my region does. So like, even though I don't understand it, the region I play with all the time understands it. So it can be like a mix of both. Like I don't get it at all. I do not understand what's going on. Like, I understand Yamcha. A lot of people are like, what is this character? I don't get it. And yeah, it depends on the person. Of course, the region helps out too. Like Vegito, I was like, what's going on? And then I played Art for 1 year straight, and then I'm like, okay, I get it now. Like I can play this character myself. I'll just copy whatever Art does. So like seeing the character in action will help you have a better understanding of what to do with that character. Okay. Like I'll give another game example.
Sure.
Eunice. Eunice. I didn't play Eunice until maybe a couple months ago, but I'd always watch Hook play Eunice. Hook plays Hyde. When I got Eunice, I picked Hyde and I just did everything that Hook did, and I found myself pretty like successful in Eunice. Like I can do decent in like Canadian Eunice tournaments, and I don't even practice the game. Like I just throw fireballs and I DP and then I set play. So it makes sense. Like
for just general game plan as far as that goes. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Like a practice method I'll do. Like I think this is a pretty good thing for a lot of newer players to do, or even people that are like getting there, like getting to the top level. I think you should all watch like Sajam's analysis videos. Sajam's Dragon Ball analysis videos are perfect. He breaks down the game in such a perfect way. He breaks down like how people think and stuff like that. I will go to sleep listening to a playlist of that, just so my brain absorbs the knowledge of what Lord Sajam is spitting out to me. Like holy, he has fucking intelligence to share. Yeah. And he'll show, like, going back on the original question, like an understanding of a character. Sejam can explain like why this move worked in this situation and why you should use this and this and this and like that.
Okay. As far as let's see. Oh God. Okay. We'll kind of back up a little bit, and I guess we'll get more into something a little bit more lighthearted rather than as far as for all the regions and stuff. All right. So we won't talk about GT Goku as far as is he top tier, because I think everybody's pretty much in agreement that he's at worst probably A tier, probably upper A tier into the S tier for his assist alone, and then obviously his kit for his mix-ups and his Oki and whatnot. So
rather, not gonna lie, I wasn't a believer. I was not a believer when this character came out. I was like, this guy's shit.
When you saw him, or was it before like gameplay actually came out for him?
After gameplay.
Oh, it was even after. Okay.
After a week, I was like, this character sucks.
Still no. Okay.
But I was proven wrong. Same thing when Smash Ultimate came out. I was like, Wolf sucks. Then I was proven wrong. So
are you a Wolf player now? I actually don't know what you play.
Oh, and in Smash I play Snake.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, oh no, how much did you actually sell out?
Your brain. You don't have to practice to play Snake, in my opinion.
I don't know.
You just have to have fucking good understanding of movement in Smash.
Oh, okay. That's probably why I suck at Smash. It's because for all of that stuff.
Well, I played fucking 4 years of horrible ass Smash 4, chasing stupid ass Bayonetta.
Oh, well, you came ready for this then, as far as into Ultimate. So, okay, well, that's good for you. It's terrible for me coming at best from like a few months of Melee, but nothing really in depth. So rather than focus on GT, as I was saying, how much do you think that having hopefully I'll word this right, having a new original character is to the game? So obviously we've had Goku Blue, we had Super Saiyan Goku, we have Base Goku. Obviously Goku Black is a Goku, whether it's Zamasu or not. Spoilers if you haven't seen that episode. It's been over a year, so that's for you if you haven't seen that. And now we have GT Goku.
Obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that having a new character entirely, as it seems that we're going to get somebody like Janempa, no Kefla. So do you think having a totally different character from the show matters equally as much, or it kind of doesn't matter to add to the game? Does it matter more for their kit alone? Like, do you think that in theory, let's take it to the extreme, do you think that you could make an entire Dragon Ball game where it's nothing but all variances of Goku, but you have every single Goku be unique in their own way?
So for like a casual audience or not a professional audience, they want different characters. They don't want to see another Goku, this and that. Like when Videl came out, a lot of my Smash friends were like, oh my god, I'm gonna play the game again, this and that. When Jiren came out, I'm gonna play the game. When Kid Goku came out, they're like, oh yo, Kid Goku, that's sick, like I'm gonna play the game. But like what matters is what can the character do. At like the top level, we're like, because a lot of people are like, oh, Kid Goku, whoa, he's so cool. Like, I love Kid Goku. And then, like, top level players are like, does he have a 2L low?
Yeah.
Like, that's the fucking question for the highest level of gameplay. So I think that for an audience perspective and, like, a casual's perspective, a business move, it is good to have characters like Kefla, because people are weebs. People want girls in the game.
Yep.
He's going to be like, oh, yo, Kefla, I'm going to main her. And like, what are some other fan favorites? Janemba, who apparently is supposed to come out according to that Xbox.
Still no
that Xbox
full confirmation, but yeah, I mean we're pretty much, I think, all on board with it so far.
Yeah, I mean we all like Janemba, so
yeah.
I mean I hope we all like Janemba. He's pretty cool, even though he did nothing but scream.
It's one of my favorite movies, but yeah, I mean,
really,
yeah, personally,
I like Fusion Reborn. Fusion Reborn is sick. Yeah. I like Pycon. Oh, Pycon would be cool.
Well,
Pycon would be cool.
So this comes back like to no. This comes to our fan favorite thing, is that I think he would be cool. I really liked him as a concept, but I totally understand that for his kit and everything, I think it would be kind of hard to add him in there and be a little bit unique in his own way. I mean, he does have some kind of cool moves where he's got like that fire tornado thing and whatnot.
Yeah, the tornado thing. Like,
yeah. When
they were coming out with Jiren, I was like, what the fuck are they gonna add? You're gonna be the stairs,
yeah,
like the punch where he doesn't punch you.
Well, I thought it was really good how they added it. Actually, they've always done a really good job.
Well.
Yeah, but so I actually, it's funny because most of the time I always think of that stuff as well. But yeah, you're right. As far as for most of the player base, it probably does matter for having a unique character. But then as a top level player and stuff, of course, nobody really cares. It's just what do they have to offer to the game? Is it going to be something new? Is it something I can use? Is it something I have to watch out for? Anything like that?
But of course, because the game's Dragon Ball, people will want their favorite characters in the game. Like majority of the players, I'm pretty sure, have watched Dragon Ball. I know Hook's watched Dragon Ball, Sonic Fox watched Dragon Ball, Makiel. So they'll be like, "Yo, are we getting this character though?" Like because they'll know who this character is.
Right.
When let's say we're playing Street Fighter 5, they want like Q. I'm like, who the fuck is Q? So I have no attachment. People have attachment to characters, so they'll want that character in the game. Since Dragon Ball is such a popular franchise.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's of course a factor as well in new DLC.
It's definitely really interesting though, because so obviously you've been playing other games before this. You said you played a lot of Smash 4, and then did you play anything else that's a more, I won't say it's not a fighting game, because I hate how people always do that whenever they say like Smash isn't a fighting game. It's always seemed that it's using a derogatory sense where they try to take away the skill that's required for the game. But did you play any other more traditional games in like fighters? Street Fighter or something like that? Okay.
Smash was my first like tournament game because it was, I started playing Smash 4 when I was in high school. I was in like grade 11 or something.
Okay.
But prior to that, I was playing Marvel 3 for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And so I was playing Marvel 3 since I was like 12. And Street Fighter 4, when Ultra came out. And I dabbled in Street Fighter 5. I've like, I think it goes, the order of events go Marvel 3, Street Fighter 4, Persona 4 Arena.
Okay, yep.
And then Smash, and then Street Fighter 5.
So then, you coming from all of that stuff, would you say, and for me, this is actually the first fighting game that I've really gotten into, so I can actually think back and realize how my mentality has changed on the game. Do you see that for yourself as well, as far as for your focus and like, hey, they should add Goku to Smash or something like that, in comparison to, oh, what is Joker going to offer as far as for his type of moves and whatnot and everything like that?
Yeah, in terms of like stuff like that, I've pretty much had the same mindset the whole time. Like I'm like, I don't care if they actually, for Smash I cared if they added like my favorite characters and stuff like that. I didn't care about the moveset. I didn't care. Them being in Smash was good enough for me. But like in terms of a competitive mindset, what was I gonna say? Like a lot of young players will be like, oh yeah, I love being the aggressive player. Like I love fucking rushing down my opponent and shit, and suffocating them. And I was one of those too. When I was young, I was like, yeah, I'm so aggro, I'm so cool. Woo! But now I'll camp the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Like I will happily sit there and hold back for like 300 seconds. Like you grow up. All the young people want to be like the aggressive player and stuff like that. That's why like I was so impressed when Hook came out, because Hook is the same age as me, and that's when I was like, oh yeah, I want to be the aggressive player. But Hook will play defensive neutral the whole time. Like Hook is a relatively defensive player until of course you get the hit. That's when you want to start going in.
Yeah, keep growing or keep pushing your lead if you have or momentum rather, not necessarily lead.
But like Hook knows it's time to back off. Like when if you were watching Combo Breaker, there are times where Hook couldn't open up Goichi.
Yep.
And then both his assists were on cooldown, so Hook just
backed
walked away. He was like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here." But actually, I thought that was hilarious because the whole crowd was like, "He's scared," and I'm like, I mean, yeah, he's a little scared to be honest, because you just see Vegeta not even down backing; he's just walking,
literally just walking backwards
out of the corner. I thought that was tight. I was like, "Damn, Goichi's that fucking sick."
Yeah.
Once you grow up, you develop your playstyle more. I find a lot of the young players are like, I'm the aggressor, I'm the aggressive player, like I like to go in, and that's when you can mess up a lot of young players, and then they'll call you like annoying, they'll say you play lame, this and that.
That's definitely something that I've gotten into as far as for my playstyle. Oh god, because I'm definitely by no means like a top level player or anything like that. I like to think that I got okay for online stuff, but I mean, I'm sure you would completely destroy me, and then there's other people who completely destroy me still. But as far as for compared to the majority of people, for online stuff, I definitely do that lame style, and then people get very annoyed or frustrated, or almost, if I've never played someone before, then someone will be like, wow, you definitely don't play like anybody else I played against. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, you don't just like run at me, you don't just do all this like aggressive stuff. So it's definitely really interesting how you do grow or learn that there's more ways to play the game than just being full aggression or needing to just do nonstop like 100% all the time. So
like audience loves aggressive play style, but hey, I love winning.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Like,
if it works for
dude,
you and you play lame,
I was
like,
playing fucking the Grand Blue beta,
mhm.
and I smoked this guy by just doing Fireball DP with Catalina, and he's like, "All you do is down back Fireball, pussy." So you'll get a lot of that stuff, but that shit is fucking hilarious to me. I love seeing messages like that.
Mhm.
Like scrolling through my PSN messages make me so happy.
Yeah, no,
Seeing all the stuff there, it's a
I
great time.
I do love that. I mean, mind you, I started off for fighters on the Etsbots, but man, I've got a ton of those messages. I saved a bit of them because they are definitely
Yeah, they're
something
just
that you need
some of
to.
them are just really creative. I'm like, you really outdone yourself. Like, holy.
Those are always the really fun ones, so where some people will come up with some sort of analogy or something where it's like, wow, that's actually really
I'll forget. Yeah,
good. Oh god.
like I'm genuinely impressed.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess, ooh, we're gonna take it back just a little bit, and then we've been talking for 50 minutes, so I guess we can finish on this one.
Okay.
So, oh, without naming exactly where this came from, do you think that being a pro or sponsored player, that you have any sort of responsibility to your community in any way? So this could be something as far as for like interactions, if it's just going to be like a meet and greet with people. Let's say you're someone like Sonic Fox or Hook or Goichi or anybody like that. Do you think that they have the responsibility or the necessity to meet with their fans or do anything like that? Maybe spread knowledge through videos, interactions on Twitter, YouTube videos, anything like that. Do you think that it should be, I don't want to say mandatory, but do you think it should be a almost standard that you are that interactive and not just a top level player where you just perform well?
I think top level players, they don't owe shit. They don't owe shit to anyone. Like they they have their hands full as is. Like on top of, because when you're a top level player, Dragon Ball is your, or whatever game you play is your career. So like if you have time, if you enjoy like giving back to the community and stuff like that, posting videos, like when Dragon Ball was first coming out and Nakio did Nakio's Lookout, that was a really good series for like understanding of Dragon Ball, and that was something he did for the community. Like if you choose to do that stuff, like that's the goodness of your heart doing stuff for other people. If you're like, but you can also just be a player that's strictly a player. For example, not really Hungry Box, but like in tournaments, he was like, I'm not gonna play friendlies with you. This is my job. Like, why would I let you understand how I play? This is how I make my money.
Sure.
And stuff like that. Like that's like I get it. I get where he's coming from. Like it's not a bad thing to do at all. But there are obviously fans that are like, oh my god, Hungry Box, you're my favorite player. Can you please play friendly with me? And I'm sure like most of the time they'll be like, yeah, sure, dude. But like when top level player asks for friendly, like, hey, let's play some matches, and he says no, then yeah. This was an example I'm taking from a long time ago. I don't know if times have changed. I don't really keep up with Hungry Box that much. So if times have changed, good shit. Like have fun playing casual with other people. But I honestly don't think top players owe anything because they have their hands full as is, pretty much.
Okay.
Like I think they have a lot on their plate to take care of. But if they do wish to give back to the community, that's on them. Like a good job. Like it is a nice thing for them to do. It's always a good thing for the community. It's good. It's healthy for the community. I'm not saying like they shouldn't give back. I'm just saying like when people are pushing them, like, oh my god, I subscribe to you on Twitch. I watch all your YouTube videos.
Like they have expectations for them. Yeah.
Please do this for me right now. Like they don't know shit.
Okay.
If they want to do something, that's good for them.
Now, so I get what you're saying for that. Now, how much do you think that impacts sponsorships or their marketability or being able to be sponsored and stuff like that? Because isn't that kind of like a conflicting thing where if they don't do anything, then that's also going to conflict with them?
Yeah. So it's of course their personal interest. If they just want to be a player, then that's fine with them. If they want a sponsorship, of course they're gonna have to like reach out to like doing this and that for the community. For example, do you follow any Smash Ultimate?
I follow it, but it's very, very loose. As far as if you named a bunch of players that are top level, I'd probably know who they would be.
Do you know Anti?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so Anti is not a top level player in Ultimate by any means, but Anti's marketability is so ridiculously high. Anti is like perfect sponsorship material. Like he's not a top level placing player, but he knows how to interact on social media.
Yep.
He knows how to post on social media. All his social medias are extremely active. I follow him on his Instagram. His Instagram's really active. He's always showing what he's doing. His YouTube it deserves way more attention. Like his YouTube's really good. Like that's all things he's been doing, and he got like an SKT sponsorship, something like that. Like those are all those are well deserved. That's a well deserved sponsorship for all the stuff he does for the community. So going back, I don't think top level players owe anything, but if they want like a sponsorship or something, they're gonna have to like do things for the community.
Right. Sure.
Like if another summit happened, I can't think of any top level players that don't really like stream or make content or stuff.
Do a lot of stuff. So this will probably be controversial for me saying this, since I'm sure a lot of people disagree with me. Normally, when I see Sonic Fox stream or anything like that, it feels really raw. I guess it feels like whenever he does it, he just boots up his PlayStation 4 and just like
that's exactly
goes.
What it is.
So I mean, I know that he's really popular and stuff like that, but I think that there's someone who's not Sonic just because he's probably one of the best players of our time right now in like almost any game that he touches. If this was someone like Hook and he streamed like that, I don't think that he would have like as much of a following or something like that. So
Sonic Fox's streams, he doesn't like streaming. Like that's
okay. I didn't know that
he definitely does it. Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Yeah, he tweets all the time. He does not enjoy streaming. He just does it like because he thinks people would want to watch him stream. Right. And Sonic Fox has done streams like when Kami played him in the first of 3, he was doing some like charity stream, like pay him $10 and then he'll play first of 3 with you.
Oh, okay.
And then he'll at 10 to like charity or some shit like that. I don't know exactly how it went, but like he gives back. He's not, in my opinion, like I'm sorry, but like he's not the ideal streamer.
Right.
He has a funky layout. He is a funny guy. Like he's actually a hilarious person, but in terms of streaming, he doesn't enjoy streaming that much. Like Zero in Smash, he didn't like streaming for a long time until when Ultimate came out and he was able to make hella money from it.
Yep.
I'm gonna say that's a contributing factor to why he likes streaming so much nowadays.
Yep. I'm sure that he's just a little bit probably of a factor.
Just a little bit. Yeah. But yeah. Like I was going back to Sonic Fox's streams.
Right.
Yeah, they're very raw, like you said. I agree. They are extremely raw. Like he boots up, he plays his game,
and
like sometimes he won't talk for like 5 minutes, and then he'll be like, and I'll be like, oh shit, I didn't even know the fucking mic was on. I thought this was just raw ass gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leffen used to do that when he streamed Dragon Ball too. He would stream like DBZ stream brackets, no cam, no mic.
Would that be in his title? I would believe that would be his title too. That he would just put that flat out. Just this is. Don't ask me for shit. This is the expectations that I'm giving you guys for what you're coming to. But God, it's funny because you mentioned Anti. I actually thought that. So it seems Zero got away from being as competitive. At least in Ultimate. So he was actually going to be the example that I was going to mention as far as for marketability, and that is actually the type of person that you would want. As far as I'm aware, if he's still with Tempo Storm, is that correct? Like nothing's changed for that? Okay.
I believe so. I think he's still with Tempo.
But what type of level do you think people would need to get to then? Or how can I even word this? What type of skill do you think is a minimum level if you want to still be considered good, but you are more a personality than a top level pro, if that makes sense? So how you mentioned Anti, because while I'm aware of Anti, I don't follow, like I said, the community too much. I just am aware of a lot of people. So hopefully that makes sense.
The skill level, skill level you have to be at, in my opinion, is you have to be a random upset guy. Like you have to be able to pull off like random upsets. Like sometimes Anti can beat like Mars, who places top 8 consistently, and I'm like, oh shit, Anti beat Mars. So like stuff like that has to happen. Like for terms of like getting a team and stuff like that, getting a quote unquote sponsorship, like you don't have to be the best player in your region. You don't have to be the best player ever. Like for example, in my region, there's Art Waltz who's better than me, Xylophone's better than me, Luke is better than me, Kami's better than me, but I'm the only one out of them that has sponsorship because I'm the most marketable out of all of them.
Yeah, followings and stuff.
I have that consistent stream, consistent social media.
Yep.
Stuff like that. So like there so many things are a factor in terms of getting like a sponsorship. By all means, I don't have like a huge sponsorship. I'm not sponsored by fucking Nike or something. Like Roshan, who's one of the Incendium guys, like he'll cover like hotel expenses. He'll hook me up with like for like Brooks gear that our sponsorship. Brooks is like controller adapters and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I
shout
have
out to Brooks. Thank you very much for the converter right here. I know.
Oh shit! This sticker right here.
You actually got one of those.
Oof. Yeah, that I won from a tournament, but I can't fucking use it. I don't play stick, and I don't have an Xbox.
And Xbox, yeah.
Yeah, so I was hitting up Roshan about it, and Roshan was like, "Let me just hook you up with a Brooks board. Let's just mod that shit."
Yeah.
I was like, "Huh, maybe I could do that, or maybe I could just sell it."
Yeah, I mean,
I've had this thing for months.
I was just saying,
I won it at a tournament.
I'm sure that thing would actually definitely pull in some decent amount of money, since it's, I would argue, like a collector's thing at this point.
Yeah, it is. The only bad thing about it is it's an Xbox stick. So everyone that hits me up is like, "Oh, can I play this on PS4?" I'm like,
no.
Well,
I mean, hell, as you mentioned, Brooks, I keep mine's like right by me. Just grab one of these, and then I'm sure that they could probably just go straight.
Do you use a Xbox controller for Dragon Ball?
Yep, that's me. I keep my stuff right here. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was using an Xbox One controller as well for the first couple of months.
Now, did you use D-pad though?
I used analog.
Oh, okay. I'll give you a little clap for that one then, because I use analog.
I was a Marvel player, and on Marvel, like most of us played on analog.
Oh,
but now I play PS4 D-pad, so I have my controller on deck too.
Actually,
I play the PS4 D-pad.
Let's, if you don't mind, can we talk about that for just a little bit? How much do you think that actually factors as far as for D-pad versus analog? At least for most people that bring it up or say, "Oh, should I play this? Should I play that?" or anything like that, I feel that they overthink it way too much. It feels like that's another. Exactly. So for me, I grew up on like Halo, Call of Duty, Xbox. That's like what I did. That was what I grew up with, and I was like, well, shit. There's no point in me trying to switch over to something else. This is what I've done. I'll make it work. And
yeah, like just play what you're used to. Like people in Smash will play on all kinds of controllers. I was playing Smash with Kami once. And I was playing online with him, and I'm like, "Oh, you're pretty nasty." Then we play a net play. I pulled out my controller, and he's like, "Yo, hold up!" And he pulls up fucking one of these, and I'm like, "Oh, what?"
Is that what he plays on?
Yeah, and he plays on this single fucking blue Joy-Con.
Okay.
I was like, "Yo, bro, use what you're comfortable." This guy pulled out the raw blue Joy-Con. I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "You've been playing with this the whole time?" He's like, "Yeah, bro." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, hell,
it's disgusting. But hey, if he's comfortable with it, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty comfortable with 3DS controls. Where's my shitty ass 3DS?
I was gonna say, what do you mean your 3DS controls? Hold on now.
For playing Smash. Like sometimes I'll plug in my 3DS to the Wii U and play Smash.
For the Wii U. Okay, I was like, wait, you can still do that with the Switch?
So like,
I knew you could do that for that.
This thing sucks ass. This thing is awful. This thing fucking blows. But I just got so used to it because I want to play Smash in my bed, so I'm just like in here. And I eventually got used to it.
Yeah.
It's a horrible fucking piece of shit though. But
God, I think I totally agree with you for that. Normally, most of the time when I see somebody make a post like that, they're normally nobody that's a higher level or that you think is like, man, I can tell the difference in regards to my inputs being drastically different, and they're just so much more clean whenever I practice this other thing. It's more like, hey, like, is this gonna make me better as a person or like as a player? And it's like, well, I'm
gonna cut you off right there.
Yeah, go ahead.
A huge problem, I can't stress this enough, with a lot of beginner players is they'll watch, let's say, Marvel 3, Street Fighter. They'll be like, huh, everyone's playing on this arcade stick. Do I need to get an arcade stick to become a top player?
Yep.
I'm like, no, you fucking don't. But he's like, but everyone in top 8 has the arcade stick. That's 100% arcade stick players. And I'm like, no, you don't need it. You don't need it. Like, that's just because they're all Japanese. Japanese players don't play on pad. I've never seen a Japanese player play on pad in my life. There will never be. I don't think they exist. I don't think there's such thing as a Japanese pad player.
God,
I can't think of a single one.
I'm trying to think of Fighting Tuesday, since that's something that I watch pretty regularly, and I don't think that
Isn't there the raise, or what is it? The Pantheras that are like on everyone uses the same Panthera. Like they don't bring their own. Like there's just like one per station. Or 2 per station.
I mean, some people bring their own, but yeah, I mean, they do have them all available still that I've seen. Okay. So people just sit down and then they'll just pick the one up from the chair and then just sit down with it and stuff. So yeah, I do understand what you mean for that for sure. Yeah, that's definitely interesting for the culture as well for that. I guess that's, and the same way for characters, it's the stick versus pad argument and stuff. So
Yeah, there's some definitely some weird controllers. There's the melee players that play upside down.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So for really weird people like that, I think that those people are probably more just trying to make a statement of some
I think they're
kind.
just fucking psychopaths. I
Yeah.
think they're fucking crazy. I don't know what's wrong with them.
And then who else was
They're
it?
like, this is how I was raised, bro. I
Like,
was like, who taught you how to
I'm
do
pretty
that?
sure that you weren't. I mean, unless that they were sort of like abused children, then maybe they were forced to play upside down or something like that. And brother was going to give them a wedgie or something like that if they played regular or something like that. So
There's also, I don't know if you saw at Gommel, there's a player named Extender. He plays on D-pad,
was it the
but
hybrid?
then he has an arcade stick,
Yes,
and he
yes.
plays on stick.
Because it's
Yeah,
coming
that guy
out
plays
of
both
the.
stick and pad.
It was coming out of the stick. Is that right at the bottom,
Yeah.
so that he could switch
Yeah.
in between? I think when I read it,
Yeah.
it was that depending on the character that he's playing, then he'll
Yes,
switch.
I played beside him. I played with him for like 30 minutes. I can
Jeez.
draw some intel. So on 21, he played strictly stick.
Huh.
Whenever he got to one of his other characters, it was strictly the pad. Because like one time I didn't notice until like 10 minutes in, because we were playing,
Right.
and then I kept hitting him, and I'm like, this guy give up? Why is he not blocking? Because I would see like movement from his wrist to
Right.
adjust stuff and combos.
And then you
I
don't
was like,
see it
"What's wrong
anymore.
with
Yeah.
that?" So I look over and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I was like, what the? I had to pause. I was like, what are you doing? Like, we have a bunch of crackheads like that in Canada. In early Dragon Ball, we had a player named Greg. Greg played on a rock band piano.
Why does Greg was at
Yes.
he was at
See
DreamHack.
Otaku?
I remember him at
He was at
DreamHack.
top 8 for something.
DreamHack
DreamHack
Austin.
Yeah.
Because I
yeah.
remember seeing him. I think I saw him in
Dumbass
person.
piano.
And then I saw him on top 8, and I was like, "Whoa!" Because it is a rock band piano.
It's a rock band
Like
piano.
they showed it, and I mean, it sounds weird when you think about it, but then when you step back and you're like, "Oh, it's not just a piano," you're just like, "Well, it's kind of just like a weird hitbox because everything's just like
Yeah,
the
it's
presses
just a
of it."
weird
So
ass
I mean,
hitbox.
yeah, but
And then there's a tournament. We were all talking to Greg, and we were like, "So do you play the piano?" He's like, "No." And we're like, "What the fuck do you
I
play
thought he
the
actually played the
rock
piano, which is why he
Yeah,
did
that's
it.
what I thought too. Like xylophone, I'm like, "Yo, xylophone, do you play the xylophone?" And he just didn't answer me. So I'm like, "What's wrong with you people?"
Man,
But yeah, there's some weird controllers, but hey, play what you like. Play
yeah.
what you're used to. Like analog D-pad. If you're used to analog, use analog. There's good analog players. Super Noon's an analog player.
On DS4?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
heard that he did that, but I wasn't for sure as far as that goes.
And the worst part, his sparking is his touchpad.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm like, that is disgusting. Like, you have to move your entire thumb to go.
Yeah,
here
because
and
you got to
spark.
reach into that. Huh. Okay.
Disgusting. I hate it. I'm just like, put it on R3.
I actually kind of wish that there was one on the Xbox controller because I'm trying to. Actually yesterday it was messing with me because I went back and watched a replay because I tried to spark 3 different times during a match and none of it worked. And I was like, my inputs have to be fucked in some way. But so I wish that there was kind of something like that. I guess I could use one of the middle buttons, but whatever.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Is
use, do you just like all your thumbs on one button?
No, I
Is that
actually
how you
do.
spark?
I do both of them. But I think on Xbox it's different since one's a trigger, one's a bumper. So I'm pretty sure that there's the slight delay when you push it that you still have the travel time of this, which is when I was looking at it.
Trigger as well.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
It's also a
It's
trigger.
definitely a little bit shorter though. I'm pretty sure. But
yeah, it's much shorter. Like Xbox is like a whole gun.
yeah. But
Yeah, like I just have my Spark on 3. It's a lot R3. It's a lot easier.
oh,
to
okay. Actually, I could see that. Yeah, that's actually true. I always forget about something like that. You don't even use that anyways, so there's no way that you would.
Sometimes you could get an accidental like Dragon Rush or something like that.
You mean like if you do
you're
the?
sparking like this.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
That's happened to me for sure.
Yeah, but like I have my assist on L and R, or like I have assist 1 here and assist 2 here.
Oh,
instead
okay.
of
So you have it on
the
one
same
each.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, like these are like Marvel style controls.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm used to.
Yeah, I mean.
And then so what I used to spark with was double triggers, and that was pretty easy at the time.
Okay.
So that worked out for me. And then I was just like, let me just get a spark button. I'm being stupid. Because defensive sparks are so important, and if you mess up your defensive spark, you're fucked. Like at World Tour, Hook lost his second character because he was mashing spark, but it didn't.
Oh man, I didn't even know that. But yeah,
he tried to spark his Vegeta, but he exploded. I don't know if Hook has a spark bind or if he was just pressing all the buttons, but I think it's super important to have a spark bind.
Okay.
Especially now that you can spark during block strings.
Yes, definitely.
I think that's a great change, by the way. I think that's actually a fucking fantastic change.
Yeah. No, I even agree for the the guard cancel. I know Nakia is gonna
Yeah.
hate me for saying that I think it's a good change, but it makes it. I think it adds a bit more mind games to it, in that your staggers can be more rewarded. From
Yeah.
before, it was more, well, you can guard cancel, but did you do it at the right time, or are you gonna get hit by this Nets attack when you're flying in randomly or
Yeah.
anything like that? So
Yeah. I
it,
actually like that change.
yeah,
Like I didn't like it at first, but I adjusted. Like when I saw like guard cancel beating whole ass cell level 3, I
yeah,
was like, this is whack. But once I got used to it, I'm like, this is actually a really good change.
sure. Okay. Well, I guess we'll probably end it there, just so that we don't go off on another
Yeah.
tangent and whatnot. It's already been a little over an hour.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
we went off a tangent a couple times. Like we start off on we started off on like talking about combo breaker Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Friday, Saturday.
oh,
And then I didn't even finish because I was like, oh fuck.
actually, okay,
And then we went off on like a bunch of other things.
I'll make
But
this
that's enjoyable conversation.
really fast, actually. So, is there one secret tip that you would give for travel, as far as for like at an event or anything like that? I have mine, which if you want, I'll go first to give you time to think. So my thing
Yeah,
is,
go first.
So my thing is actually, I actually have a little baggie here. What the hell do I even have in it? Oh, I don't have anything in it. So take you a little snack baggie like this, and roll up toilet paper, like just wrap it over each other and just throw it in one of these and put it in your bag, or carry it with you, so that when you go to the restroom, or if you have like a runny nose or anything like that, then you'll never actually be in trouble. I picked that up from cross country, funny enough, because you had like a bunch of portables and stuff, and those things were entirely unreliable. So you would always take that with you in your bag, and then if you ever ran out or anything like that, because I mean, you're gonna have to go eventually at some point somewhere, especially if it's some sort of event. So that's actually my secret to everything. Oh, and then don't forget a jacket, of course, no matter where you're going.
Oh yeah. Tip is eat breakfast. Fucking eat, please, for the love of God, eat breakfast. Like you're not gonna be able to play if you're just the whole time thinking about eating food or something like that. Like make sure you're eating. Make sure you have a nice group of friends, or just one friend is good enough to go to tournaments with. Like if I went alone, I wouldn't have done as good. Like I got 13th. Like sure, that's pretty good. But like if I went alone, I doubt I would have even broken top 48. Like having the support of Canada behind me, like was something else. Like Canada was just standing behind every set. Like, was good, and like people were getting intimidated because there was like a whole group of like fucking 14 Canadians standing behind this one set. Like there's my set with Sage where there was like 1 million Canadians behind us.
Oh yeah, that was a good picture actually. I did like that one.
Oh yeah, that picture's great. And then there was actually Art. Art is one of our best in Canada. Art played like shit that weekend. There was a guy that that we all came behind because we were gonna watch Art play, and then the guy was like, "Oh, it's cool. You have your own fucking crowd. That's pretty cool." And then the guy beat Art, and we were all like, "Why would Art lose?" And then the guy was like, "Oh, let's go play casuals later. Like that was a lot of fun." And then eventually Art ran it back in losers all the way to get out of the pool, and then Art beat him.
Oh, okay.
And after he was like, "Oh, this crowd is bullshit. Like you guys." I saw a tweet saying we knocked off his headphones. I was like, we didn't even touch you. So the one thing about Canadian cheering that we like to do, we won't talk shit on the other person. We won't be like, "Yo, this guy's fucking trash. Like you're gonna smoke this guy," and we won't touch them. Like this guy was saying we knocked off his headphones and we were being annoying and not human the whole set. And he said he was gonna money match us on Saturday. I was so fucking red. Oh my god, I was gonna drop like 500.
I'm sure he didn't show up at all, right?
No, he just gave us cut eye every like 5 seconds.
Jeez.
And I was like, this guy's a pussy. His fucking name was Pooh. So Pooh, if you're watching this, you're a fucking pussy. So yeah, that guy was a little bitch.
Maybe
and then there was Kami versus Alucard. Like we were all behind Kami on that one, and Alucard was like, "Oh, thank God, Marvel toughened me up for crowd." And I was like, we weren't even saying anything.
Still,
we were just hyping up Kami.
Like you said, it's the intimidation factor, though. You just have the goons behind you. You gotta still consider that. So.
Yeah, Canada did good overall. Like, let me just wrap up Combo Breaker.
Yeah,
like,
go ahead.
Out of all the Canadians, I think I did the best. I got 13th. Kami got 17th. Beating, who did Kami beat? I don't think he beat anyone like too sick. He beat Lazy Matt Man.
I'll pull it up real quick. He's on pretty good. He's on West Coast, isn't he? Lazy Matt Man. I swear that he goes to the Wednesday night fights and stuff like that.
Yeah. Kami got 17th. SJ also got 17th. SJ, I didn't really talk about SJ. SJ's a old school Marvel 3 player. He's gotten top 16 at Marvel 3 at Evo and stuff like that. SJ beat Xylophone, which
Oh,
is a
SJ.
team kill,
Yep, here he is,
unfortunately.
right here.
And SJ beat Doza, which was pretty good.
Okay, yep, 2-1 Doza. I definitely see that right here.
Yeah, I think SJ got 17th as well.
Yep, 17th with Kami.
Yeah, Luke got 25th. I think Luke had to play some hard matches. Luke had to play Angelic, who was surprisingly good. I didn't know Angelic was going to be that good. He played Dacid Bro. Luke fucking murdered Dacid Bro. That was the
I was
easiest
gonna
set of my life.
say, I swear I recognized the name for Dacid Bro, and then I looked him up and I was like, oh yeah, it's the same guy. But yeah, I was like, wait, isn't this guy supposed to be good? At least from the match, I was like, wait a second, like I thought
Luke
that this
murdered him. I don't know if you watched that match.
I saw it was on stream, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was on stream.
Violent.
That,
oh my god.
That's
Luke
where I was so
destroyed him.
confused because I was like, I thought that this guy was good. I mean, I'm sure that he is good, but
He is good, but Luke is just really good.
yeah. So let's see.
Like Luke actually has like an 8-1 tournament record on me. I haven't beat Luke in the past year.
Okay, I did find him. So he okay, there's Dacid Bro 2-0. Okay,
Yeah,
and then he
beat
lost.
Wrath, he beat Jordan B, who was pretty good. Jordan B was pretty good.
I do see Jordan B right here.
Wrath had a couple excuses after he lost. He was like, my team is so like practice heavy that like if I don't get to warm up, I'm gonna lose.
Of
I'm like, that's fucking bullshit, whatever. And Luke smoked his ass. And then Luke lost to Lord Knight, I believe.
Yep, Lord Knight and Tachikawa.
Oh man, his Tachikawa set was hilarious. Because Luke got obliterated. And they came off the stage, he was like, this guy's on another level. And then later Tachikawa came up to Luke and he's like, good. Rock. Ruza.
Dude, Tachikawa seems so fun. I really want to meet him one day.
Seems like a great time. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He seems hysterical.
Apparently he speaks a fair bit of English too, or like
well enough. He lived in the US for 2 years.
Oh, did he?
I've heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So he can get around.
Actually interact with you pretty well, or at least more so than some of the players that unfortunately don't speak English.
Yeah. Like Tachikawa's Twitter's hilarious. When he took Koichi's book and then he was like, Koichi's book is trash.
I definitely.
That shit was so funny.
I definitely saw that one. Oh, and you said Art, right? Art Waltz? Is that the
Art and Xylophone both got 33rd.
33rd. Yeah, I see him right here.
Art had no.
Oh, wait, is the dude Pooh? Is it spelled like really weird? I think I see him right here. P.O. Yeah. Okay, I see him.
That.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Well.
Yeah.
It seems that you outplaced him, so you guys did really well. So, all right, cool.
Yeah, he lost in pools, and then Xylophone lost to SJ, but he got out of pools. He almost beat to kill Sage. He went 2-1 with Sage.
Oh, okay.
Like how I went 2-1 with Apology Man. Fun fact, my 2-1 with Apology Man, the game I won, I fucking perfected it.
Damn.
Okay, I didn't perfect it.
Oh,
he didn't touch
it was a hood perfect.
Hood perfect.
I gotcha.
But then I lost, so the results don't lie.
Yeah.
2-1, I have to hold that shit.
It's like that sometimes. You either wash somebody, even at the higher level. I mean, you can do it can look like just a wash, but of course there's so many things that factor into that with momentum and everything like that. So
Dragon Ball's so momentum based.
Yeah.
Really momentum based. Yeah, and Sunday was like top 8 day. That was a good time. I enjoyed Sunday, and then we went to get deep dish pizza. That was tight. Deep dish was pretty cool.
Didn't get any of those hot dogs that Sajam was throwing in your face like
I did.
Oh, did you?
Dude, I had a fucking chili cheese hot dog at Portillo's. It was shit.
Oh no.
It was not good. It was shit. I must have got the wrong item because that hot dog tastes like shit.
The advertisement was not
so
all that it made out to be. Oh no.
Yeah. But yeah. Combo Breaker was a good time. We enjoyed it.
Hopefully I can go to that next year. Hopefully anyways. It seems like the super good event. Okay. Well, anybody that you want to shout out? I mean, you've already been shouting all your Canadian brothers and everything like that.
My team Incendium, they do a lot for me. He's run by Roshan with a couple of other peoples. Roshan actually went to the same high school as me, but he was a couple years older, so I never got to see him until afterwards. So thanks to them, they do a bunch for me, and they do a bunch for the community and shit. Like, they'll always come to me during locals. They'll be like, yo, they won't say, yo, how'd you do? Like, how are you feeling? They're like, are you having fun? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm having fun.
Nice.
So yeah, thanks to them, they're great. They do a lot for us and the Toronto community for Dragon Ball. So yeah, thanks to them. Thanks to Canada FGC. You guys are tight. You guys are fucking hilarious. We all walk around like a wolf pack. Everyone talks about that. They're like, all you fucking Dragon Ball players, you stay at the venue as late as possible, and you all move in one unit. We're like a whole fucking Fire Emblem team. We just walk in one fucking unit.